In this 3-part mini-series, I'm going to be sharing with you how I became a content creator and why you should become a content creator in 2020. What's up, purpose-driven entrepreneurs? Matt Bigger here, empowering you to maximize your potential with video content marketing by showing you it can be fast, fun, and simple. This channel will bring you weekly tips, strategies, and tutorials, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. The year was 2005. It was the same year that 3 former employees from PayPal founded a new company in their garage, which would become one of the best platforms and opportunities for our generation. And if you know what company I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below. I was like a deer in the headlights, trying to make sense of the world, asking questions, figuring it all out. You know, I was working as an electrician full-time in the trades at a big hospital expansion here in Calgary, Alberta. Weekends were filled with, you know, video games and fast food and booze and marijuana, and honestly, it was fun in my earlier 20s, but there was something missing. A lot of things, actually. The wake-up call would come when I finally realized that I was spending more money than I was making. I remember the days someone slipped a sheet of paper underneath the door to let me know that the apartment building had been sold to new investors and that the rent was going to be going up by hundreds of dollars a month. And my heart sank into my stomach because I knew, since I'd been spending so much money and building up this consumer debt over time that I could barely afford, that there was no way I was going to be able to pay the rent. And so I was faced with the decision, either become homeless or move back in with my parents. And thankfully that was an option for me. Before I did that though, I had so many questions and I don't remember why, but at the time I had this idea in my head that the bookstore had all the answers. It turned out to be true. Since my world at the time was filled with stress and anxiety about finances and money, I went to the bookstore and asked the clerk behind the desk, "Where's all the books on money and finances?" And she gestured to her left. The book that drew me in like a magnet was none other than Robert Kiyosaki, not Rich Dad Poor Dad, Increasing Your Financial IQ. A lot of entrepreneurs read Rich Dad Poor Dad first. For me, this is where I needed to start because it was all about trying to figure out money. Why was this such a mystery? I don't understand what's going on. The most important thing is it opened a door to a world that I didn't know existed before. A world where you can create your own business, your own source of income and impact in the world. And I was so excited about all these ideas because I never heard about this before, and it was a creativity of it all that really drew me into it. And so I went to work. I remember telling my coworkers, I'm gonna start a big business, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and they all thought that I was nuts. It wasn't much longer before I actually decided to pick up my tool bag. I walked off the job site. I quit my job. I didn't have a plan. I definitely don't recommend doing that. But I got into sales after that because of what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki and developing the skills that I needed in order to create a business and become a more effective leader, a more effective communicator. There was no direction, even though I invested in coaching. There was no love for my work, even though I desperately wanted to create a business that did good in the world. I tried everything from network marketing to real estate investing to creating a marketing agency, a video game review website that was like paired with a comic book strip. All these ideas, none of them really worked out, and it's not because they didn't have potential, it was because of me. I just burned out, never really making any progress on any one thing. And so the purpose-driven entrepreneur went dormant inside of me. You might be thinking, what does this have to do with becoming a content creator? And I promise I'll get to the point. Check out the next video in this mini series to find out what was the biggest lesson that I learned in my life.